Real estate is real estate is fantastic. I have been involved with, I'm gonna guess like $250 million worth of real estate in my life. It's great, but it's a tool. It's just a tool. From my perspective, it is a tool to generate income or equity such that you can live life the way that you want to. I just happened to stumble on real estate in my early 20s because I was reading financial books and I was trying to like not fall into the college kid run into credit card debt type of thing.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kessel, and today I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chatting with, Maurice Philogene, who is a real estate investor and entrepreneur. So excited to have you here today, Maurice.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure.
Awesome. So let's dive in. First off, for those not familiar with you and your work, can you share what your main focus is?
Yeah, for sure. So, as you and I were chatting in the virtual green room, if you will, but my main focus has always been living. I just want to make that clear. I think we can get into these business podcasts and like go heavy that business is life. Business is something that powers my life for sure. But I've been a real estate investor since I was age 21. I'm age 50 now. I did a ton of single family, large scale multifamily complexes, mobile home communities, things of that nature. But as I was mentioning to you, it's been such a run. I've done fairly well for myself. And right now, my focus is actually on kind of deleveraging from all, let's say, business relationships and projects and things of that nature in favor of much more intentional living, which I think this is, it's a good topic for us today, however we touch on it. But that side of real estate or business in general doesn't get talked about. The fact that you get to a certain point, most people just keep going because that's their identity. I got to a certain point and recognized that that was not my identity at all. And there was much more living to do. So my focus now is kind of on winding down and doing passion projects as they come up, but not heavy business per se.
Yeah, absolutely. And what did your real estate investing journey look like when you were just getting started?
Yeah. Well, it's a ways now, but essentially I've told this story on podcast before, but I was traveling when I was age 15 to France, changed my life as an inner city kid. Fast forward to age 21, I found a financial book. The book talked about passive income. And I put two and two together and realized that, look, if I could create income without having to physically be somewhere, I could free up time and I could go travel the way that I did when I was 15, when I had that wonderful experience.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Since then, what occurred was I bought my first place in 2002 to live in. I was very lucky because I was at the beginning of the 2000 real estate cycle. I ended up buying 35 places through 2014. Well, maybe more like 50 places. So it was all like single family condominiums that were $80,000 to like $130,000, something that I could afford just being a new kid out of college, working at a corporate firm, also in the military. I saved the down payment for my first investment property over a couple of years and I just started buying them. And the reason I started buying them wasn't necessarily for money. It was because of what I told you before, which was I had this notion that if I could create income from this stuff, I could live the kind of life that I wanted. So the detailed answer to your question, my first real estate life was my financial freedom journey. It was 2002 to 2014. I bought somewhere around 50 single family homes or condos. Of course, I hit 2008. It hurt a lot, but I made it through. And I ended up, uh, the ones that appreciated in value, sold some, used my pay from work. And by 2014, I ended up with 18 paid off places, generating 13,000 a month. And I realized at the time, I was like, oh, I'm actually free. But I loved working, so I stayed working at my corporate firm and in the military, and I actually became a police officer later in life. I found multifamily syndication later. I've done 30 apartment complexes, syndicating apartment complexes since. And then my last real estate life is my overseas life where I've done some development on the island of Cyprus and I live part-time in Lebanon now, so I do a few things there as well. So it's just been this first life, financial freedom journey, second life, how do I help other people get financial freedom, third life, just living as much as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. And was like the whole point of real estate, like, was that a vision of living like in the back of your head the whole time, or was that something that you learned as you were investing later?
Real estate is real estate is fantastic. I have been involved with, I'm going to guess like $250 million worth of real estate in my life. It's great, but it's a tool. It's just a tool. From my perspective, it is a tool to generate income or equity such that you can live life the way that you want to. I just happened to stumble on real estate in my early 20s because I was reading financial books and I was trying to like not fall into the college kid, run into credit card debt type of thing. I just started reading about it. And then when I bought a place to live, it just kind of made sense. It could have been stocks, it could have been bonds, it could have been gold or nowadays Bitcoin or NFT. I don't know, but it worked for me. And but the entire time, I'm not suggesting I didn't make mistakes. I did. But what's interesting is the mistakes that I made, the heavy ones that I made along the way, were when I started to chase real estate for the sake of real estate. I started to chase the money. And when you chase money, it runs. The moment I made those mistakes, when I'm heavy mistakes, like losing 300, 400, 500 grand, but the moment you make those mistakes and you feel your instinct to get back to what your initial mission was, and my mission was freedom. I wanted financial freedom. It's not even the money. I wanted time. I'm 50 years old. I don't work anywhere. I think this week you are my only meeting. I'm raising my kid well. I travel the world constantly. This was the whole purpose of the thing the entire time. So it wasn't so much that I was so focused on real estate as much as I was focused on using it as a tool to be able to sit with Michelle today and have a cool conversation.
Yeah, that's incredible. And what
Yeah.
advice would you give to someone that's looking to get started or early in their real estate career?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah. You have to know your why. the folks who I interact with or even coach in the coaching that I sometimes do from a lifestyle design perspective, if you don't have a why that is strong enough to keep you consistent, you won't get there. You won't get anywhere. My why, as I told you, was always freedom. It didn't matter to me. Like there was no necessarily a money number or something a number can be a why as well. But we have to have some kind of North Star that pushes us forward for the days we are not motivated. I wasn't motivated all the time. What I was consistent. I never stopped. I never stopped sending paychecks to pay down properties. And even if it was $5, $10, $100, $1,000, I was always chipping away, chipping away, chipping away because my why never went away. And if I think back to my 20s and probably early 30s, what I'm doing now is what 23-year-old me was thinking. I couldn't quite put my hands on it, but I'm in a position now where, and I'm not talking from 20, $30 million. I mean, I'm talking thousands of dollars on a monthly basis, but I'm in a position now where I own my time. I own my space. I own my mental capacity. I joked when I left my corporate firm after 25 years that I got my brain back because it was on loan for so long. I became this very creative person. I started doing passion projects and things of that nature. So have a why because you're going to run into problems. You're going to make mistakes, which means you're going the right direction. But if the why is not there as your North Star, then you're going to veer off and just follow the next trend, the next Bitcoin, the next NFT, the next fad, like everybody's chasing everything. I just stuck with real estate and the way that I attacked life because I knew what I wanted and my why, which was freedom.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
What have been some of like the biggest challenges that you've overcome as a real estate investor?
Well, from a well, it's not even financial, right? It's the 2008 downturn was very difficult. I had, I'm going to guess 20 places at the time. I can't recall. And half of the tenants stopped paying because times are tough. And I was doing the right thing. I had 100 grand liquid in the bank. I think I was in my low 30s at the time, but that money ran out so fast. It was shocking. I had the opportunity to file bankruptcy if I wanted or whatever, and I just refused. I refused. Again, this goes back to the why, Michelle, because like, look, I bought all these things. I got to find a way through this. I didn't do something wrong. Just the market changed. People don't have money right now to pay rent. How am I going to solve this? And what I ended up doing was getting a second full-time job. I became a police officer at night. That helped. I went to every bank, every lending institution that I owed money, and I said, how do we figure this out together? Some did a deed in lieu and took the property back. Some short sales. I think I had one or two foreclosures, but I never had to file. And then a lot of deferments, right? They restructured the loans and all kinds of things. And I made it through. I think I lost like 2 or 3 properties out of the 20 or 25 that I had, but it was brutal. And all that did in reflection was show me that real estate is in cycles. At the time, I didn't realize that real estate was in cycles because it was the first time I was in real estate, right? I had just started 6 years earlier. Well, if you fast forward to 2022, 23, and 24, we've gone through a bit of a cash crunch cycle in the commercial market. I could feel it coming, right? So it just puts you in a position where, oh, I've felt this before. I know what's about to come. We're going to have to keep as much cash available to make the properties last as long as we can and keep them healthy. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges I went through. And then I will also add just when I went on my core journey, what I call 17-year financial freedom journey, it was just very lonely. There's not a lot of people who were working 3 careers plus doing real estate on the weekend, plus self-managing 35 units. Um, I did not know how to find tribe, like people like Michelle who would talk about real estate or just any entrepreneurial type mind. I was very much stuck in the corporate world and was not vibing well with people. So um, I did get over that, but I recognize that now. And anyone that I spend time with now, I'm like, where's your tribe? Because we cannot do all this stuff together, or excuse me, alone, because we're going to run into problems. And to deal with those kinds of issues on your own can be very, very difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. And what has been like one of the biggest highlights that real estate has given you?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Well, I guess I'd say two things. One, people misunderstand real estate investing. It is a career, and it can also be a pastime for people, but it's also a self-development tool. You're growing. You're overcoming fears and challenges. You're having to do research. You are meeting like-minded people, hopefully. You are learning how to problem solve. You are trying to optimize business. You are also, and you can tell I'm very big on this, what's the best way that I can use this resource to affect a better life for myself, my family, my kids, my all that kind of thing. So it's just been I love the fact that it's just this self-development thing that makes you independent. So just to highlight my point, if I hit that financial freedom for me was $6,200 a month in 2014. Once I hit that number, like, corporate world had no idea that I didn't need them anymore. I just stayed there. And I stayed working for another 7 years. And of course, I invested that money and kept going, but it gave me confidence. I didn't need them anymore. I didn't need the necessarily the W-2 paychecks that were coming in and stuff like that. It created this person who's very confident about life, who has an A personality, because I attacked something because I knew my why. So I think real estate or any passion endeavor can do that for you. And then the second thing about it is just people. I've been exposed to people around the world or even local who are just wonderful, awesome human beings trying to attack life the same way. So just those two things have been so powerful for me that I don't think I would have got there without taking a shot on myself, and real estate happened to be the tool to do it that I did that with.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I know that you're more in the living stage now, but
Yeah.
as far as like business, is there any opportunities that you are excited about or still lit up by?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I won't buy more real estate. I will. I still own a fair amount. But I'm executive producing TV projects now and some movie projects as well. I started a platform called trylifeon.com to express some of the views that you and I are talking about, that real estate is a tool. Status quo is this default language we don't have to follow. You don't have to climb the corporate ladder and become the partner. I never did. Actually, when I was in corporate, I turned down being partner 4 times because I knew I didn't need the money. I wanted the time to go do other things like travel to 100 countries and stuff like that. So trylifeon.com is something that I'm very proud of. I have a podcast. I write a blog. I've coached well over 300 people at this point. And then, to be honest, the way that I think about life is intentionality. So a passion project for me is taking care of my two boys. And now I'm in a position where I have to start taking care of my parents. So even when I do get calls from old partners or existing partners now, my answer is no. And the reason is we have this finite thing that's called time. If we place it constantly on growing financially, or the next project, the next this, the next that, I think that's fine, but people's priorities are different. My priorities are very much associated to my family and friends, and me living out my years as much as possible. I don't want to wait till I'm 75 to do the kinds of things I'm doing now. And I'll give you one more example. Somebody called me, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago about a deal. It was a great deal. There's no reason I shouldn't have done it, to be honest. And I probably would have benefited high six figures, maybe 7 figures. And I said no. And the reason I said no was because it would have taken up my time. And I've been splitting it between Maryland and the country of Lebanon. I'm spending a lot of time with my parents. I walk my son to school every day. I walk my son from school every day. I'm at every single practice he has. So there's a little bit of business there, but I'm much more like, what is heavily meaningful for me? A little bit of the TV stuff now, but mainly friends, family, and spending time. Like, after 30 years of doing what I've done, I've put in my time. I don't want to wait until I'm 70 to put everything down. I'm putting it down at 50.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's a great way to look at life. Thank you for sharing your
Of
perspective.
course, of course.
And before we begin to wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, and learn more about what you're up to, where can people find you?
Yep. So the absolute best place is trylifeon.com, trylifeon.com. Maurice at trylifeon.com is the email address. And then sometimes LinkedIn. They can check me out on LinkedIn too and send a direct message and they can reach me there as well.
Perfect. Well, appreciate your time and your story. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure, Michelle.
And for the listeners tuning in, if you got value, make sure you have subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators like Maurice who are building real businesses, and we'll see you on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.